Okay. Fine, guys. I'll start today's session. Once again, I'm literally sorry for that. Whatever has happened. Okay. Second. Now, so yeah, as I was saying, guys, no need of my video, right? So because I have to write something on the tablet. So okay, fine. First, I'll go with the concept or yeah. Yeah, yeah. I've just started recording it. Don't worry. Uh, okay, fine. So, yeah, guys. So, with my own interest, I've started this workshop, which is 5 days of Python workshop, where I actually wanted to teach a lot many things. It depends on your interest. It depends on your attention and as well as focus, right? So before start the session, I'm expecting few things from you, right? So the first one, which I already told, is a response, right? So as guys, if anybody are unmute, just please go on mute, because if you're about to ask something, then you can unmute. But during my lecture, it's better to mute and as well as respond in the chat. Okay, yeah. And yeah, guys, I want few things from you all. The first one is, as I told, the response, right? So if I ask you any question, or any statement, right, so be responsive, because that makes me to lecture more, right? So to teach with very confident and very interest. Okay, so if you're not able to give any kind of response, that will makes me to think that you're not listening well, and you're doing some other thing while attending this session and all, right? So don't do like that. Just be responsive and give your give your answers or responses in the chats. Okay, so yeah, so that is the thing. And okay, fine. So uh okay, guys, I'll start the first one, which is basic computer knowledge, right? So I just want to give basic computer knowledge, so that you will able to understand how exactly programs will work, how exactly programming will work and all. Okay, so the first one is, everyone knows in this session about computer, right? So computer, um guys, hope you can see my this one, the text on the screen. Yeah, so a computer, can anyone define what exactly the computer is? A simple question, right? So a question which we heard this question from very since our childhood, right? So we tend to listen this word from our childhood. What exactly the computer, right? So can I get answers for this question? Computer. Someone is talking something, but I was unable to hear their voice. Okay, electronic device. It is just an electronic device, or else is there any a specific usage for the for computer, right? Okay, takes data and do something. Any other answers, guys? You can respond in the chat. Used for complex calculation. Yeah, one of the best example, complex calculations. An electronic device used to store and process the data. Exactly. Storing and process the data. Nice, super nice. Right. So almost everybody gonna give the kind of answers for computer. Okay, but just log this answer. Computer is used for computational purpose, right? So for computational purpose, which is like it can take huge number of data, right? It can take huge number of data and do process the data, right? And do process the data, and it will give the desired output to the users. right? So it will give desired output to the users, right? So whatever the answer that I can see on the screen, it's absolutely okay, absolutely, those are fine good answers, right? So it can process huge number of data, right? So you all know data, in this generation, I mean in this years, in this century, per day a huge amount of data is getting generated, right? So we are generating huge number of data, right? So to process this huge number of data, right, so this kind of big data, right, so to process this data we need computer. Okay, okay, that is totally fine, we need computer to process the data, but how we can process the data, right? So if I tell my computer, do this task, will it give, guys? Will it do that task if I say verbally, right? So if I say there should be a purpose, there should be a way in which you can communicate with the computer, right? So there should be a certain way, there should be a proper way in which you can communicate with the computer so that computer can do task for you, right? So I hope everyone are getting what exactly I'm saying. Okay, so computers are there to to complete the task for us. It will do whatever the task we're gonna say to that to do, right? But there should be a proper way, there should be a certain way in order to listen those words which you are saying. And the only way to do that is programming, right? So with the help of programming, sorry, with the help of programming, right, with the help of programming, you can do the task which actually you want to do on the computer, right? So with the help of only programming you can do. But how to do programming, right? So you got the answer, what exactly the programming, right? So what is programming, guys? Programming is writing programs. Okay, programming is writing programs. But what is program, guys? What is program? Hello, guys. What is program, guys? I'll go with a little speed because almost like half of the time has wasted because of me, right? So I'll just go with a good, I mean, little speed. Guys, what is program? Okay, the set of instructions, right? The set of instructions, a collection of statements, collection of instructions, right? Exactly, guys. Now, yeah, super nice, guys. Okay, fine. So a programming is nothing but set of instructions, right? So set of instructions. Okay, now how we can make this set of instructions, right? So programming is nothing but writing program is called programming, and what exactly the programming is called? A set of instructions or group of instructions. But how to do programming, right? I'll give you a simple example, right? So in order to communicate with you all, i'm the person if I want to communicate with you all, I'm using which language, guys? I'm using which language? I'm using which language? Yeah, so the language that I'm using right now in order to communicate with you all is English, right? So in the same way, in order to communicate a user, with computer, there has to be a language, right? So there has to be a language, and that is called exactly. The language is called machine language, right? So machine language. Right. Can anyone give example how a machine language looks like, guys? How exactly, zeros and ones, right? So the language, exactly, the instructions or the group of statement of the form only zeros and ones is called as machine language, right? So you can use only machine level language which is also called as binary language, right? So which is also called as binary language to communicate with guys, one second. Okay, in order to communicate with machine, you can use only machine language or else binary language. Okay, now tell me one question for you all. Is this easy to communicate with computer with machine level language, or else is it difficult? Guys, is it easy or difficult to communicate with computer with machine level language? Hey, easy, huh? Okay, I think I'm getting a lot of responses in the Google Meet, I guess. Difficult, difficult. Okay, I'll do one thing. Mm. Mhm. Give me a second, guys. Okay, here also screen sharing. Fine. Okay, okay. Right, fine, guys. I hope everyone can see the screen and as well as the messages on the right. Is it, guys? Those who are from Zoom? Yeah. Better to stop it, but I don't know how to stop. Okay, fine. Fine, guys. Even do this one. Okay. Our voice is not coming. Guys, can you able to listen me?
Yes, sir.
Both from Zoom and as well as Google Meet? Just type
Yes,
yes.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Fine, guys. Now, what I was saying, okay, so it is very difficult to communicate with the computer with the help of machine level language, that is binary language. Okay, so what exactly we are doing is, after machine level language, okay, guys, after machine level language, there comes assembly level language. Okay, so assembly level language. So what is assembly level language? Guys, have you heard, have you see this particular word such as add or mul,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
So these
Yes,
are
sir.
called as mnemonics, right? So these are called as mnemonics to do some kind of a task on the data which were there in the registers. Okay, so registers are used to store information into them, right? So in order to do some kind of a task, in order to do some operations on the data that was available in the register, we will use this particular add, mul, or subtraction. For subtraction we use sub, right? So after machine level language, people found with the help of machine level language, it is very difficult to communicate with the computer, right? So they have come with another language which is called as assembly level language, right? So assembly level language, right? So compared to machine level and as well as assembly level is somewhat very easy to understand, to do programs or to communicate with the machines, right? So even though it is difficult, but it is somewhat easy, right? So later this assembly level language, people had come with one more language which is called as high level language, right? So what exactly this high level language is? Nothing but a language which is English like looking language, right? So a language which is English like looking language. Just try to remember, try to keep all these points in your mind, guys. Once we get into actual Python, you will get to understand each and everything. Okay, so people had come up with one more language which is called as high level language, right? So high level language is a language which is which we can easily understand, which we can easily write, which we can easily to communicate with the computers or machines. Okay, guys, is this clear? Is this clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, fine, guys. Now, so machines can only understand machines. Let me erase all these things. Okay, so machines can only understand, right? So machine can only understand 0 or 1 or this thing, which is called as binary language. But we are using high level language to write programs, right? So to write programs, we are using high level language. But guys, I'll tell you. Do you think there has to be something in between to convert this high level language to low level language, right? So we are writing programs or instructions or whatever it is with the help of high level language, right? But there has to be someone who can do converting of this particular high level language to machine understandable language, right? So machine understandable language. Yeah, I'm getting the answers. That is called as compiler, right? So compiler, right? So hope you got the answer for compiler, right? So what exactly the compiler, guys? Compiler is a software, right? So a compiler is a software which can convert high level language, right? So which can convert high level language file to a machine understandable language called binary language. Okay, is this clear, guys, everyone? The compiler
Yes.
example, compiler definition, right? Okay, fine, guys. Now you everyone got to know what exactly the programming, what is programming, and as well as what is compiler and all. Now let me get into actual topic for today. Okay, so I'm erasing this, guys. Now fine, right? So computer consists of three major things, right? So the first one is a box like this, and basic architecture of a computer, right? So basic architecture of a computer. So this is called as CPU, right? So and this is called as input, and this is output. Basic stuff, guys. I'm not going to spend much time on this. Okay, so CPU is nothing but which will do actual process, right? So whatever the instruction that we are making, right? So whatever the instruction that we are making, all those instructions will get processed in this particular CPU, right? So now yeah, so this is basic architecture, basic computer architecture diagram, which consisting of CPU and as well as this output. And the right side you can see output and the left side is input, right? So CPU is nothing but that is the actual part where it will do all the processes, right? So whatever the instruction that you're making with the help of some kind of programming languages, right? So all those instructions will get processed in this particular CPU. Now what is the help of this input devices, guys? What is the help of this input devices? To give input
Command.
data, right? So to give input data to the CPU, right? Can anyone give me examples for input devices? Examples for input devices?
Mouse, keyboard.
Exactly, right? So mouse and keyboard and all, as well as scanners and all those things are examples for input devices, right? So, and as well as output, right? So in order to see any kind of a result that has been generated from this particular process, right? So here process will get happen, right? So in order to see the result, of this particular process, right, we use output devices, right? So we use output devices. Examples, guys, examples for output devices, examples.
Speaker, speaker, headphone, printer,
Printers,
projector, GPS devices,
earphones, exactly, earphones,
speakers.
etc., right? So there are a
Monitors.
lot many things, as well as monitors. The first main example is monitor or screen, right? So this is what exactly a computer architecture diagram, right? So now let me go in depth into this, right? CPU, how CPU will look like, right? How CPU will look like. First there will be a processor, guys. The reason for giving this kind of information is you need to know how programs will get executed, right? So you have to understand how internally things will happen. Okay, so this is a processor, and what are the things in this CPU, guys? What are the things are there? Memory,
Memory.
right? So memory. Now can anyone tell me how many types of memory we have? How many
Two
types
types.
of memory?
Two
Exactly,
types.
two types.
Primary memory,
Yeah,
secondary,
primary memory
and secondary memory.
Four
and
types.
secondary memory, right? So secondary
Primary,
memory,
secondary,
exactly.
catch, register.
Yeah. So basic classification, right? So those all are comes under ternary memory, right? So which we have cache, it is cache memory and all those things. Okay, so but the basic classification is primary memory and the secondary memory. Now you all know, I hope you all know what exactly the primary memory, right? And as well as secondary memory, right? See guys, whenever you are opening any program or any application in your system or in your devices, right, so that entire application data will present in primary memory. Okay, so examples for primary memory, guys: RAM, right?
RAM,
Random access memory, right? So for example, see here, you all can see this one, right? So a sketchbook, right? So this is Autodesk sketchbook, right? So now this particular operation, this particular process or this particular application is the data of this particular application is now in the RAM, which is primary memory. The moment I click, see, can you see this save button, guys? Save or save as, right? So the moment I click these two buttons, save and as well as save as, right, the entire data which was there in the primary memory will be moved to secondary memory, right? So the examples for secondary memory is, it is
hard
called
drive,
as HDD, right? So
Hard
hard
disk.
disk drive or solid state, SSD, solid state drive, right? So your SD cards,
USB,
right? So
memory
many
card.
were there, right? So this is also called as ROM, right? So read only memory, right? So the data which was there in the secondary memory will resides in that particular memory until and unless you remove that particular data. But whereas in primary memory, the data will exist on the primary memory when there is a power supply, right? So if there is power, if there is no power supply to that particular machine or device, right, so whatever the data that was there in the primary memory will get lost. Okay, is that clear, guys? The primary memory and the secondary memory,
Yes, sir.
everyone? Now uh okay, let me remove this. Okay, fine. So guys, pay your attention here, as I told earlier, guys, anyone need break for 2 minutes, or else should I continue? Break for 2 or 3 minutes so that you can drink water.
No, sir.
Yeah,
No, sir.
okay, fine guys, thanks a lot. Okay, see guys, as I told earlier, Machines can only understand zeros and ones, right? So why only zeros and one? Because see here, let me go with the one more example. Storing data into memory, right? So storing data into memory, how you can actually store the data into memory? Before going to that, before storing data into memory, how memory should look like? We know memories are two types, primary memory and secondary memory. But what exactly the memory internal structure, the common or the basic internal structure is that, guys? Don't assume this is the perfect, I mean, this is the way in which data will get stored into memory. But I'm giving you an analogy where you can convince yourself to understand a few more other things. Okay, so consider memory is like this. Okay, so where you'll have boxes. Okay, yeah, see guys, so consider this is a memory. This is a memory. Now this single space represent a bit of that particular memory, right? So whatever the space that you can see, this small square space, right? So small square box is considered as bit of that particular memory. Now machines can only understand binary language, right? So in order to store any data into memory, what is the first thing you need to do, guys? What is the first thing? Even for program execution also, right? So you're writing programs, you are doing some programs. In order to execute that programs, the program has to convert into machine level language, that is zeros and ones. Okay, so zeros and ones, right? So once whatever the data that you want to store into memory, right? So whatever the data that you want to store into memory, if you convert that particular, has to get converted into binary, then this binary data will get stored into in these particular bits. Is that clear, guys? Everyone, hello?
Yes, sir.
Guys, everyone,
Yes,
is this
sir.
clear?
Yes,
Whatever
sir.
the data that you want to store into memory has to get converted into binary, right? Once we convert this particular binary, after converting the data into binary, this binary data will get stored into these particular spaces, right? So here 0 or here 1 or 0 1 something and all. Is that clear, guys? Everyone, how storing of data into memory will happen? Everyone, just say yes in the chat. Yes in the chat quickly. Okay, okay. Super, guys. Super. Fine. Okay, now it is somewhat clear how data will get stored into memory. But see here, guys. For example, if I want to store this number 5, into memory, what is the how can I convert this particular into binary, guys? How can I convert into binary? We can do this calculations, right? So where this is 5 and you can take 2, because binary is nothing but only 2 digits, base to number system, right? So you may think of base 2 system, right? So base 2. Okay, so you can do with 2 and 2 2s are 4, right? And the remainder is 1, and again 2 2 1s are 2, right? So remainder is 0, right? So the binary representation of this particular number 5 is 101. You can add 0 here, because if I want to represent 4 4 number spaces, that is, let me write it here, guys. Okay, so 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power 4, 2 power 5, 2 power 6, and so on and so forth, right? So these are the positions of that particular binary values, right? So see here. Okay, so let me write it here. See, 0101, that means here at 2 power 0 the value should be 1, and this is 0, and this is again 1, and this is 0. So if you add all this, that means 2 power 3 is 0. That means 0. Let me go down a little further. Okay, so see here, guys. 2 power 3 into 0 is 0. 2 power 2 is nothing but 4. 4 into 1, 4, right? Plus, and 2 power 1 into 2 power 1 is 2, and into 0 is 0. Plus 2 power 0 is 1. 1 into 1 is 1. So total value is 5. Is that clear, guys? The binary conversions of any particular decimal number. So this is called as decimal number. We can think of decimal number, right? So decimal or hexadecimal, it could be anything. We do have number system, right? So hope many people have heard this one, which is number system, right? So number system where we have binary, right? Octal, and what is that? Decimal, and as well as hexadecimal, right? So these are the different kinds of number system we have. But in order to store the data into memory, you have to convert that whatever the kind of data it is, right? So it could be any kind, but you have to convert that particular value into binary. Then only this binary information will get stored into memory. Is that clear, guys? Everyone, is that clear? Yes, now let me ask you one question. You know, for everything there are some kind of units to measure, right? For example, to measure water, right? So to measure water we use liters, right? So 2 liters of water or 3 liters of water, like that, right? And for some other things we do have kgs, right? So 1 kilogram of dal and all those things, right? So in the same way, in order to the units of memory, the units of memories are what are the units of memory, guys? How you calculate, how you measure the memory?
Bits.
Is it bits?
Bits, bytes,
Exactly,
kilobytes,
bits, bytes,
Bytes,
everything, right?
megabytes.
Yeah, so the first one is bit, right? And the second one is byte, right? And kilobyte, megabyte, right? So gigabyte, right? So now we are living in the era where we have petabytes, or even like petabyte is the highest one, or exabyte, right? So exabyte, you know, we are living in the world where this amount of data was we can actually see the this much amount of data, right? So the data in petabytes or terabytes or hexabytes, right? So that is the case, right? For one byte, how many bits, guys? For one byte, how many bits? 8 bits, right? So 8 bits is nothing but
8 bits.
8 position. As I told, 8 position, right? The 8 positions were, this is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and also 2 power 7, right? So see, guys, 1 byte is nothing but 8 bits, right? 1 byte is nothing but 8 bits. 8 bits are nothing but 8 positions. These are the 8 position, right? So from 2 power 0 to 2 power 7, right? So 2 power 0 to 2 power 7. And how many bits, guys, for 2 bytes? For 2 bytes, how many bits?
16.
16 bits, right? So for 16 bits and one more, I mean 16 places or spaces, right? So 2 power 8, 2 power 9, 2 power 10, and so on so forth up to, I'm not sure, 2 power 15, I guess, right? So 2 power 15, right? So these are 8 positions and these are 8 positions. 8 bits, 8 bits. Is that clear, guys? Everyone, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine, guys, fine. So now I've just completed the basic intuition to understand programming very well, right? So let's get into actual concepts of programming. Okay, so give me a second, guys. Okay, yeah, okay, fine. So let me erase this now. Okay, so now you got what exactly the programming and some basic stuff regarding to understand programming very well, right? So you all know what is CPU, what is primary memory, right? So the secondary memory, and there are some other devices also which are no need to worry about all those things. And we know with the help of programming we can communicate with the computer, but how many programming languages were there? I told, right? So the programming languages has divided into two types, which is low level and high level, right? So the programming language has divided into low level and as well as high level language or low level language, right? So in the low level language, again divided into machine level, which is combination of zeros and ones, and this is assembly level language, which is like some kind of mnemonics, right? So add or all those things. Now when it comes to high level language, high level language is nothing but English like looking language, right? So English like looking language, right? So when it comes to high level language, what are the how many programming languages we have, guys? Can anyone give me examples for high level languages? Let me write it here. Can anyone give me examples for high level language?
Python.
Exactly. C, C++, and Java.
Python, Java.
Yeah, Python, right? So Cobalt, right? Fortran, right? And Pascal, right? C sharp, right? So there are many programming languages, guys. Exactly. Ruby, right? So there are many languages. There are many high level language by which we can use to communicate with the machine. Now, out of these many programming languages, which is best programming language, guys? Which is best programming language out of all this? Which is best one? Okay. Python, C. I'm getting answers. Mostly Python, Java and Python. Guys, I want you all to respond. Java, Python, C. Python is the best, huh? Java.
Python.
Okay, fine guys. Most of you all are having this particular thought in your mind that Python is best language, but that is absolutely wrong, guys. Okay, so there is no such kind of thing. Which is best programming language, right? Every programming language will have their own advantages, right? So each and every programming language has their own advantages, right? Exactly, right? So their own usages, right? So for C there are some particular usages, and for C++ there are some particular usages, and Java and as well as Python and everything, right? So there is no particular kind of thing where we can say this is the best language and this is not the best language, like that, right? So don't assume like that, right? So Python is best language or Java is best language, but according to usage, right? So according to usage and according to the applications for that particular programming language, it has some very good advantages over the other programming language, right? For example, let me give you an example. The applications of Python were many, right? So you can use web development, and you can use gaming development, right? You can use user interface development, right? So you can do lot many things. With Python. But see, guys, for gaming, mostly they use C++, right? So or C++ or even C, right? So now now no one are using C, but mostly C++, right? And for let me tell you an example. C is the language used to develop system programs, right? So C is the language to develop system programs. So what do you mean by system programs, right? So system right. Okay. Yeah, see, guys, the system programs are nothing but, right, the programs or the softwares, which will act on hardware of that particular machine, right? So hardware of that particular machine, right? So C language is mostly used to develop system programs or system softwares, we can say system softwares. And what is system softwares are nothing but these softwares which are used to to communicate with the hardware, right? So which will perform on the hardware. Examples are, exactly, OS is examples of system software. Because see, what is computer, guys? Computer is nothing but hardware, right? What is hardware, guys? Hardware is nothing but memory, right, and a processor, right, and input devices and output devices, right? So all together comes under hardware. Now we as a user, have to communicate with this particular hardware, right? So we don't know what the language the hardware part's going to use, right? So that's why there is something called as operating system, right? So there is one particular man or a woman or whatever it is, right? So we may think of software, right? So with the help of this software, it will take instruction from user, right? So it will take instruction from user, and this particular operating system will communicate with the hardware, right? So operating system will take care of everything. It acts as a intermediate, right? So interface, we can think of intermediate person, right? Or else the interface between user and as well as hardware, right? Is that clear, guys, everyone? Right? So the computer is nothing but hardware. Hardware are nothing but all the hardware parts that we have in the computer, right? So in order to handle, in order to perform some task on the hardware, right? So we can't go directly to talk with hardware, but there has to be someone who is operating system will take care of that. And to develop those particular operating system, they will use C language mostly, right? Can't we develop with Python, guys? Can't we develop system softwares or system programming or system programs with the help of Python? Is it yes or no, guys? Can
I know. No, no.
no? Is it no? Is it no? Why no? We can. Python is general purpose programming language. Remember this word, guys. General purpose programming language. That means you can use Python for everything, right? So you can use Python for everything. That's why it is called as general purpose programming language, right? So if somebody asks you, define Python or tell me about Python, you can add this particular words, right? So Python is a programming, or Python, first thing you have to go with features, right? So Python is general purpose programming language. Okay, why general purpose? We can do lot many things with Python. But see here, guys, I am here, consider this is point A and this is point B. So this is A and this is B, right? So I am here, right? I am here. If I want to go from A to B, so there are many ways like this. There are many ways like this. Which is the shortest path, guys? Which is the best way to select? Let me give this number 1, and this is 2, and this is 3. Which is the best way, guys, to go from point A to point B? Which is the best way? Hello, which is the best
3,
way?
sir.
Yes,
3,
3,
sir.
right? So can't I go with route number 1? Why can't I go with route number 1? Right? So why can't I go with route number 1? We can go, but that is long. Exactly, right? So to develop system software, there is a separate language. Which is C. Why I can develop with Python, which is very difficult to develop system programming with the help of Python, right? And in the same way, Python is used for data science and as well as all these kind of applications such as AI, artificial intelligence and machine learning and all those things, right? Can't I do with Java? Can't I do data science with Java or C or C++? I can do, but with the help of Python, it makes us to do it makes us to perform task very easily, right? So the data science, whatever the data science tasks or the procedures were there, with the help of Python I can do very easily. So that's why I can choose Python over C or Java or C++. Is that clear, guys? Everyone, hello? Is that clear, guys? Okay, fine. Now, so as you told, the high level programming languages are C, C++, Java and Python and all those things. Okay. Now let me go to some other thing. Okay. Give me a second, guys. Okay, fine. So yeah, now I'll give you one more point, right? Guys, just try to note down the points, whatever the points that I'm saying, right? So what are the points that I'm teaching? So it's better to note down on your rough notes and all those things. Now, you all know the definition of a compiler, right? So compiler and interpreter, right? Guys, you all know what is compiler. What is compiler, guys? What is compiler? Hello? What is compiler? What happened?
Which scans the entire program and translates.
Yeah, exactly. Oops. Yeah, right. So the compiler is nothing but let me erase all this thing. Okay, the compiler is nothing but which will convert the high level language to low level language. Exactly, right? So which will convert the high level language to low level language. Now, can anyone tell me difference between compiler and translator? Right? Translator. See guys, if you are able to understand what exactly the compiler, the one point is one definition for compiler is it will converts high level language to low level language, right? So it will convert high level language to low level language, but there is compiler can also do one more thing, right? So it can also do one more thing, and in order to make you understand, let me go with translator. What is translator, guys? What is translator? It is like it will convert from it is also convert from one language to another language, right? So for example, we can use Google's Translate, right? To convert from English to some other language or Hindi to some other language, right? So in the see guys, if I see for translator there is no error checking. For example, if I translate a bad word, right? So if I translate a bad word, translator can easily convert that particular bad word which was there in English to some other language, for example Telugu, right? Exactly Bhargavi, right? So the translator easily translate whatever the words that were there in the sentence, right? So it won't check whether it is a good sentence or bad sentence, right? So if you're converting any statement to one particular language to another language, it won't check any kind of thing, right? So it will just simply translate. But whereas compiler it will do error check, right? So error check. That means if there is, in general case, if compiler finds any bad words, it will throw an error, right? So it will throw an error. Okay, is that clear, guys? What do you mean by bad words when it comes to programming? What do you mean by bad words when it comes to programming? Hello?
Error.
Exactly. Errors in the programs, right? So examples are exactly syntax errors, right? So the grammatical mistakes, right? So grammatical mistakes regarding, of that particular programming language, right? So if it finds any mistakes of that kind, it will simply throw an error, right? So when it comes to Python, exactly, indentation error was one kind of error which we do mostly, right? So very commonly we do indentation errors, right? So is that clear, guys? Compiler and translator, everyone? Now compiler and interpreter, right? So compiler and interpreter. Now tell me, guys, what is compiler and what is interpreter?
Interpreter checks the line by line program.
Okay, that good point. Is there any other points? Right, it checks line by line, exactly. Is there any points, guys? Is there any other points that you can come up with? Hello?
It gives the immediate error.
Okay, right, exactly, right? So compiler will take whole program. Compiler will take whole program at once and it will generate binary language. That means, for example, let me take a C example. Let me take a C, right? So compiler will do, for example, main, and this is the C program, simple C program, right? So this particular compiler will take a whole program at once and it will convert to binary language. That means 0101 01 111 so on so forth. Is that clear, guys, everyone? But whereas interpreter, right? So whereas interpreter will take each line by line, right? So will take each line by line and it will execute and it will give output. Is that clear, guys? Hello, is it confusing or else clear, guys, everyone? Okay, so
Clear, sir.
yeah, compiler will take whole file as a once and it will generate bytecode for it. I mean, sorry, executable code, which is binary language for it, right? So binary code for it. But whereas interpreter, it will take each line and it converts to binary language and it will give the output. Now my question is, Python is in Python, which one do you see, guys? Is it compiler or interpreter? Hello?
Interpreter, sir.
Interpreter.
Okay, people are saying interpreter. Right? Guys, everyone, is there any one person who come up with compiler? Is there any one person who come up with compiler? Python do also have compiler in it. Okay, I got answer from Supriya, compiler, sir. Right? Python will also have compiler, guys. Right? So mostly people call Python as interpreted language. See, guys, you can also say Python is general purpose interpreted language. Is that clear, guys? Two words in the definition, right? So this is how you need to make definition for programming language of Python, right? So if somebody asks you what is Python, Python is general purpose interpreter programming language. Okay, mostly people say it is interpreter, but see, this structure of interpreter, how this structure of interpreter will look like is, a second. Give me a second, guys. Now, okay. See, guys, most of the people will say Python is interpreter language, but Python will have both compiler and as well as interpreter. I'll tell you, I'll show you how interpreter will look like, right? So Python interpreter will look like this, in which it does have compiler in it. It does have compiler in it. Then it does have PVM. PVM is nothing but Python virtual machine. Is that clear, guys? So the whole Python interpreter will look like this. It will have a compiler and as well as this particular PVM, right? So this whole interpreter, what exactly this whole interpreter will do is, first it will take source code. Source code is nothing but the instruction that you wrote, right? So for example, any program instructions or group of instructions, right? So that is called as source code. It will take source code, then it will be given to what, guys? It will be given to what? Compiler. What exactly compiler will do is, it will generate a intermediate code called bytecode. Guys, are you able to understand? Are you able to follow me, everyone? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, once a source code, a Python source code has been given to a interpreter or Python interpreter, then this particular interpreter will generate bytecode, right? So in interpreter, there is a compiler. And as well as PVM, and this whole interpreter will work on top of CPU. Right? So central processing unit. Okay. So once you get this particular bytecode, guys, you are unable to read the bytecode. Okay. So that is, which is in not readable format, right? So which we cannot read it, right? And this bytecode will be given, right? So this after getting bytecode, right? And this bytecode will be given to this particular PVM, right? So this PVM will generate .exe file, which is executable file. Is that clear, guys? Everyone, I hope you are noting, you're making this particular notes. Okay, so once bytecode has been given to PVM, right, this whole process is called interpretation, guys, right? So the whole process is called interpretation, right? So once this bytecode has been given to PVM will generate .exe file, which is called as executable file, which is also called as binary file, right? So binary file, which is in the form of zeros and ones and zeros and ones. Is that clear, guys? So in C language case, only source code, and we are getting directly .exe file, right? So there is no intermediate code, right? So this is C source code, and if you compile, if that given to compiler, right, and that compiler is generating directly .exe file. But whereas in Python, if you give source code to interpreter, it will give bytecode, right? So let me take this compiler. Once you are given source code to compiler, it will generate bytecode. Once this particular bytecode has been generated and that is given to PVM, and the PVM will generates .exe file, and which is called as executable file, and this can be executed and the result can be shown on the output screen, right? Is that clear, guys? Everyone, are you all with me? Hello?
Yes,
Everyone,
sir. Yes, sir.
is it interesting, boring, guys? Is it interesting or boring? Hello?
Interesting, sir.
Fine, guys. Okay. Guys, try to respond on the chat. I wasn't able to see more response in the chat. Try to respond quickly. Okay. Fine, guys. Right. So that is how a Python program will get executed. Okay. So if somebody asks you what is bytecode, what is your answer, guys? If somebody, if any interviewer in the interview process, if somebody asks you what is bytecode, how you supposed to say? Bytecode is the intermediate code will get generate once the source code, the Python source code will get compiled, right? And that particular bytecode will be given to PVM, and with the help of PVM, it will generate executable, and that particular executable code will get executed, and the outputs are shown on the screen. Okay, is that clear, guys, everyone? Okay, okay, fine, guys, fine. Okay, okay, fine. So now I'll tell you one more thing, right? So let me get into actual topics, right? Is that clear, guys? Till now, does anyone have any doubts? Does anyone have any doubts till now? Hello?
No, sir.
No doubts? If no doubts, we'll move further. I'll take next 10 more minutes, then we can then we can attempt the quiz game that we have today for today. Okay, fine. Now, so Python. What is Python, guys? What is Python? It is the first definition is, can all
General
this,
purpose interpreter.
yeah, can all these high level languages are used to developing the system programming? All high level language. I'm not sure all high level language will be used for system programming, but some of them, right? So some of them will have different uses or applications, right? But mostly we can use. Okay, so Python is, the first definition is general purpose programming language, and the second one is, it is also called as interpreter language. But if somebody asks you Python will have only interpreter, and the answer is no, Python will also have compiler. Okay, now, yeah, exactly, general purpose interpreter programming language, right? So now I'll tell you some of the I don't want to go with history, guys, history of Python, how it has generated, how it has created, and all those things, right? So who is the person, guys, who is the person that developed this Python language, Python programming language? Hello, anyone have any idea about that particular person?
Sir, resume.
Yeah, Guido van Rossum, right? So Guido van Rossum, right? So he is the one who invented Python language, right? So see, guys, nowadays Python is using for many purposes, right? There are many advantages with the help of Python, right? Because the reason that see, now these days many people were using Python, because I'll tell you why mostly most people are using Python, because the reason for that is due to third-party libraries, right? So third-party libraries, right? Just pack this particular word in your mind, right? So third-party libraries, right? So how exactly these third-party libraries are making this particular Python more famous, right? What exactly this third-party library, right? I'll tell you, guys, just park this particular word in your mind somewhere else, right? Guido van Rossum is the person who invented Python, and in the year 1991, right? So in this particular year, this Guido van Rossum is the one who invented, who developed this particular Python programming language, and which is very famous in these days. Okay, so now tell me, we use Python for programming, but where to execute? We know Python is a programming language, right? So Python is a programming language, and we can make programs out of it, right? So with the help of Python, we can make programs, but and we don't know the execution. We already know the execution process of Python, programs, right? So execution process of Python programs. But where to execute these Python programs, right? So where to execute this particular Python programs, guys?
PyCharm. PyCharm.
Yeah, what is PyCharm? Okay, what is PyCharm?
Compiler, interpreted.
PyCharm is compiler and interpreter. Okay, who told this one? Who told to you this? Python is, PyCharm is compiler and interpreter. Okay.
Website, sir. Website.
Okay. PyCharm is a website. Yes, exactly. I'm getting good answers from Zoom, Nikita, and IDE. Exactly. And as well as who is this one? Right. So exactly. PyCharm is IDE, which is integrated development environment. That means we can use this particular PyCharm to do something, to do some task. But my question is, PyCharm it is fine, right? So PyCharm is used to execute Python programs, but mostly these are the things which came up laterly, right? So during the initial days when Python has been developed, there was no this particular PyCharm and all those things, right? But what exactly where Python programs have been has got executed during initial days, and that is called as IDLE, right? So what is IDLE? IDLE is a environment, right? So in order to execute Python programs, we need a environment, right? So in order to execute Python programs, we need any programming instructions, guys. Take any program. In order to execute those programs, we need environment, right? So that environment for Python is IDLE, which is also called as Python IDLE, right? So Python IDLE, right? So Python IDLE is a software, right? So it is a software, and as well as it is an environment where you can execute Python programs, right? So see, guys, even for C or for C++ or Java, it could be anything. I think most of people, you have heard about JDK, guys.
Sir.
Everyone, most people have heard this particular word, which is JDK. That is Java Development Kit, I guess, right? So this is an environment to execute Java programs, right? So this is an environment to execute Java programs. Whereas for Python also there is Python IDLE, right? So which has to get installed in your computer in your laptops to execute Python programs. Is that clear, guys? So this is an environment, right? So this is an environment where you can execute this particular Python programs. Is that clear, guys? Everyone? Hello. Is there any doubt with IDLE and IDE and all those things? And this PyCharm or Jupyter, right? And there are a lot many other things which came up laterly. Yeah, PyTorch, Anaconda. Yeah, exactly. Right. So there are a lot many things. There are a lot many things which came up laterly to execute these Python programs. Okay. Yeah, PyDroid. PyDroid, I think it is application, I guess, for mobile application. I'm not sure. Okay. Is that clear, guys? Guys, is that clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Now let me erase this. Right. So Python is a programming language which has been developed by Guido van Rossum, and in the year 1991. And in order to execute Python program, there has to be an environment where you can execute all those Python programs. Okay, so that is the thing for this. Okay, now let me go. Difference between C, Java, and Python. Guys, difference between C, Java, and Python. Can anyone tell me, if you have a basic idea about Python or Java and as well as C, what is the main example, main difference among these programming languages? Hello. No answers. Syntax, exactly. Syntax is one of the difference. Object and procedure oriented, exactly. Object and procedure oriented, super nice. And the way of writing codes, exactly, right? So we can think of, okay, way of writing codes. Guys, try to respond. Way of writing codes. Execution times, okay, fine. Execution time. Built-in functions, okay, so everything will have a built-in function, their own built-in function, that is okay. And a structured programming language, okay. Structured programming language, procedure oriented, Java, Python, or object oriented. Who is this? I want this person name. Hey, how can I check? Ashok, okay. Okay, fine. Right, so case sensitive keywords, okay, fine guys. Java is static, Python is dynamic. Okay, fine. As you told, guys, as you told, many answers have been given already, right? So the difference between among all these programming languages, the first one is syntactically they are different, and as well as object, C is procedure oriented, whereas Java is object oriented, right? So Java is object oriented, guys. I can directly start with programming and all those things. Programming, the topics were there in Python. But the reason for telling all these things are, these are the basic things which will, mostly asked in the interview processes, right? So, if you are going for any interview, right, we will prepare only our biodata, that is where I've studied, and what is my what is my percentage, what is my aggregate, and what are the hobbies that I have, and these are the things which we prepare. But and also we will prepare a project also, right? So what are the projects we have done during our academics and all those things. But see here, guys, but in interview, if they ask you basic questions like this, what is procedure oriented, what is object oriented, right? So if they ask you basic questions, people were unable to reply the answers, right? So that's where interviewer will get upset with the interview, right? So that is you, right? So the one who is going for the interview, right? So he was unable to give these basic answers, right? So that is the reason why you have to know all these things, right? And the 5 days workshop, 5 days is this particular 5 days workshop is not only to teach Python, but in order to make you understand how the real world scenario is happening, right? So Python is just a part of it, right? So Python is just a part of it, but mostly I'll teach you how you need to prepare yourself, how you need to make yourself ready for any IT job, right? So, and as well as coding is very, very important, guys, right? So developing code for any logic, developing code for any problem statement is very, very important, right? So, and as well as what are the things you need to keep in your resume, right? So there is no proper structure for resume, right? So we have to follow only this particular structure, but that is not the matter. How what is the format of the resume and all those things, but the matter the most is what content it has in your resume, right? So that is very, very important, and I'll tell you what are the things you need to keep in your resume and all those things. Is that clear, guys? Everyone, are you all with me? Hello. Okay, fine, guys. Super nice, super, guys, super. You guys are rocking. Okay, fine, right? So C is a procedure oriented language. What do you mean by procedural oriented language? That means you cannot write a C program You cannot write a C program without a function. Without a function, right? See guys, without a function, you won't be able to write a single program of this particular C. So that's why it is called as procedural oriented language. Okay. And when it comes to object oriented programming, right? In order to do, for object oriented programming language, you cannot write a program without what is guys? Class. Without class, right? So when it comes to object oriented programming language, many people will have doubt, this particular doubt, guys. What is object oriented and all those things? I am here to make you understand each and everything regarding object, regarding class and all those things. Don't worry about it, all those things, right? Just try to make this particular points very clear. Okay. So when it comes to object oriented programming language, you cannot write without a class for object oriented. But what is Python, guys? Is it procedure or object oriented programming language? What is Python? What type of the type of language the Python is? Exactly, right? So Python is both procedural and as well as object oriented language. Is that clear, guys? One more point we got, right? So what is Python? Python is general purpose, Python is interpreted, Python is procedural and as well as object oriented programming language. Is that clear, guys? Definition? Hello. See guys, if in an interview, if somebody asks you a question, if somebody asks us a question, the moment we give answer, there shouldn't be any questions from the answer which is given by you. I hope you got the point which I'm saying, right? Whatever the answer that we are giving in the interview, there shouldn't be any further questions from that particular answer that has been given by you. Okay, you have to give the answers like that, right? When you have a complete knowledge about it, then only you can able to give the answer like that. Okay, which interviewer can't make out questions from it. Okay, so Python is general purpose, procedure oriented, object oriented, and interpreter programming language. Is that clear, guys? Everyone, hello. Are you all with me? Okay,
Yes,
okay, fine. Right now, I'll tell you the difference between C and Java and Python. The best the difference is number of lines of code. Right? See guys, let me erase this. Just take a screenshot of this, guys. Let me erase this or else. Okay, see here, guys. In order to print, the basic program is printing hello world, right? So in order to print this particular string or this particular statement on the screen, when it comes to C, you have to create a main method, which is like main, and you have to do this, and I don't know what was there. Okay. Okay. Let me take addition, guys. Addition and subtraction. Right? So in order to do addition operation, you all know what is addition operation, right? See guys, for C, when it comes to C, you have to create a main method into main, right? Those who don't know C and Java, just forget about, just try to listen. Yeah, we have to keep header files also, which is hash include stdio.h, something like that. Yeah, header files, and int main, and as well as this one. First we have to initialize the variable. We have to declare a variable first, right? So int a comma b, right? And semicolon has to be there, and then we have to assign values. A is equal to 5 and B is equal to 10. Now, after doing that, we have to print. How to print? Printf, right? Printf. You can do just percentile D, right? And comma, and this one is, you can directly use A plus B or something. Guys, I'm not sure whether this is correct or not. Okay, so these are the things. This is a program to do addition operation. Now, oops. Now, when it comes to Java, I know I'm not that much good in Java, but I know Java, right? So the first thing which I have to do, there should be a class, right? So without class, you can't write any single program for Java, right? So there should be class, right? So public class, and the class name is my class, whatever it is, the class name. Then open parenthesis. Then there should be a main method, which is public static void main, right? So, and a string arguments and all those things, and again one more bracket, and in this you have to initialize the variable. You have to declare a variable in int a comma b and semicolon, and as well as adding value to it, right? So a is equal to 5 and b is equal to 10. Then you can do system.out.println, and this is just we can easily write, I guess, a plus b. Is that clear, guys? So this is how you can write when it comes to Java. But whereas in Python, just simple thing, guys. You don't need to write class. You don't need to write this main method. You don't need to write all those things. Just a is equal to b is equal to some you can also write like this. Let me write it. A comma b is equal to 5 comma 10, right? Then just simply print a plus b. Is that clear, guys? So this is the program number of lines that we use in Python for doing addition of two numbers. Is that clear, guys? Everyone? Hello? Yeah, so here also stay semicolon, all those things. Okay, so that is the main advantage, right? So with the help of Python, we can do the task within less number of lines of code, right? So within less number lines of code, right? So that is the main advantage when it comes to Python. Now let me go ahead, guys. I think the time is 7. Should I stop, guys, or should I continue for 10 more minutes?
Continue.
Yeah, just 10 minutes and the 10 minutes for 5 minutes for just features of Python. Then we can play that Kahoot quiz. Okay, so yeah, let me erase this. Now see, guys, features of Python program. Features of Python program, Python language, sorry, Python language, right? The first feature was, guys, I don't want to mention all the features that was there because it is simple to understand, easy to read and all those things. I'll give you the main features. I'll give you the main, those are also main features, which is, it is easy to learn, right? The language was very simple, right? And all those things, but I'll give you the main features. The first one is open source. Open source. Is there anyone, guys, to give the answer for this? Open source. What is open source?
Python.
No, what is the meaning of open source? What is the meaning of open source? Anyone? If not, I'll go ahead. Open source is nothing but no need to pay anything. No need to pay anything. Right? Guys, are you able to understand? Open source is nothing but no need to pay anything in order to use this particular software, right? And Python is open source. That means you can easily download Python from the internet, and you can do task on it. But tell me guys, Windows, is it open source?
No, sir.
Is it open source? No, because
No.
because we have to pay to the Microsoft company in order to use this particular Windows, that is licensed, right? So licensed version, right? So we have to pay some amount of money in order to use that. That is the difference between open source and as well as licensed. Is that clear guys? Open source feature, the features of Python language, everyone? Hello, respond guys, respond. Okay, nice, super guys, super. The next feature is dynamically typed language. Dynamically typed language, right? Guys, just park this particular word for tomorrow. I will explain this dynamically typed language tomorrow. Is that clear guys, everyone? Dynamically typed language, right? Hello. Okay. And the next feature is platform independent. Platform independent. What do you mean by platform independent? Right, and this
Independent of OS, sir.
exactly, independent of OS. It will also take some time to explain. Should I explain or else should I? It is like independent to operating system guys, independent to the system environment, right? So the platform independent is nothing but write once, execute anywhere. Is that clear guys? Write once, execute that particular program anywhere. Okay, so let me take an example, right? So let me take a few people, person A and person B and person C, right? So the person A computer is Windows operating system, and his processor is Intel, right? And person B laptop or person C laptop is this person is Windows operating system, and the processor is different processor, which is let me take what kind of processor?
Ryzen.
MIPS. Yeah, so
Ryzen.
let me take MIPS, right? So the Windows and as well as MIPS processor, and the person C, the company laptop is Linux operating system, and what is that? Ryzen. Is it Z or
Yes.
Z? I'm not sure
Z,
whether.
Z,
Yeah, okay.
Z, Ryzen.
So see guys, these are three different the environment or the computers or laptop, right? So when it comes to C programming language, C is platform dependent programming language. That means if you are writing C program here, you cannot execute that particular C program here, right? And also you cannot execute the same program here, right? So as I told, when you're developing C, .exe file will get generated, which is binary code, right? You cannot execute with the help of this particular binary code. You cannot execute here in for some other system and as well as some other system. Okay, but whereas Python, you can easily execute one code on different operating system, right? Different operating. Is that clear guys? Did you all able to get a little idea about platform independent?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll explain again this tomorrow, because it will take a good amount of time to explain all these things. Okay, so and the next one is portable is also same, right? So write once and execute. You can take it to anywhere, to any operating system or any computer. You can easily execute that particular program. Now, and the next one is Python is as I told earlier, procedural oriented and as well as object oriented, right? So this is also one of the best feature of Python programming language, which has made Python so much popular. Okay, and the next one is huge set of libraries, guys. Huge set of libraries. As I told earlier, due to third-party libraries, Python become more famous. right? So that is what exactly huge set of libraries. Okay, is that clear, guys? Everyone, huge set of libraries. I'll explain what is library and all those things. Okay, and the next one is database connectivity, right? So database connectivity. What do you mean by database connectivity? What do you mean by database connectivity? That means database. What is database, guys? To store data into databases, right? So database is nothing but, yeah. So there are some servers or servlets. Servers, right? Which we can use to store data, right? With the help of this Python, you can easily do database connectivity, right? So you all know that is one language, SQL, right? So structured query language is used to do database management for doing data fetching and data inserting operations, right? With the help of Python, you can use you can implement this database connectivity where database management system will get happens. Is that clear, guys? Features of Python, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the first feature is open source. There are a lot many other, guys, but these are very popular, right? So open source, dynamically typed. I'll explain what is dynamically typed tomorrow, and platform independent, and procedural oriented, and as well as object oriented. And the next one is huge set of libraries, and next one is database connectivity. Is that clear, guys? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Yeah. Now, so okay. Does anyone have any doubts, guys, till now? Does anyone have any doubts? Guys, respond. If anybody have any doubts, you can unmute and you can talk to me. If anybody has doubts. Okay. 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 Yeah. Sai Baba Yadav has raised his hand. Let me check. No. Oops. Okay. Fine. Shall we play that game, guys? Kahoot quiz?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Guys, the quiz was like this. The quiz was like this, where questions and options will be shown on my screen, and you have to give your answers with your mobiles, right? Is that clear, guys? Everyone? So that's why I told you to use a laptop. Okay. So the questions and options will be on the screen, on the laptop screen, and you have to use your mobile phones to give your answers. Are you all ready with your mobiles, guys? Mobiles and laptops, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So the people, those who are using mobiles, you can also give answers to that, but you can't see. You have to switch to one page to another page with the recent page kind of systems. Okay, so you'll take care of that. Okay, guys, I want to confirm one more thing is there are in the official WhatsApp group that we have for this Python workshop, there are 200 plus students, right? So in our WhatsApp group, there are 200 plus students, but now I can see 58 and 29, hardly 80 people. This is the main disadvantage of giving free. See, guys, this workshop is for free. Because of this particular workshop is free, though I can give you a good amount of knowledge to you, but because it is free, this particular workshop has no value. See, guys, the mentality of Indian people, if anything comes for free, it doesn't have any value, right? See here, the diamond cost is very expensive, right? So we have to pay huge amount of money to buy diamonds, right? see, that huge amount of money will give value to it, right? Because of the reason you are giving huge amount of money to that particular diamond, right? So that's why it is very valuable. See guys, if the value of diamond is for free, let me take rocks, little rocks and all those things. Will you pay anything to buy these rocks, guys? Not for constructing a building and all those things, just a random rocks. Will you pay anything to do this? Because that is useless, right? So it doesn't have any value. That's why we don't care. We don't care about the rocks, those things. But when it comes to diamond, due to because of we have to pay so much amount of money. It got some huge value, right? See guys, do not do this mistake. The reason for giving this particular workshop is for free is to share my knowledge. Whatever the knowledge that I have, I want to share with you all, because I have struggled a lot. You don't believe me? I am the person, right, who is unable to speak properly in English, who is unable to understand English well, who is unable to understand what is programming, what is all those things stuff during my college days, right? See guys, I have struggled a lot, right? So I don't want to explain about myself, but I realized that I don't want others to be in the same way, right? So whatever the struggles, whatever the obstacles that I faced during my journey, I don't want others to be in the same way. So that's why I'm giving this particular knowledge to you all, right? So because it was free, don't make valueless. Try to attend, right? So if you are able to attend 5 days completely, right, on the 5th day I will take attendance of each and every individual, those who attended today, right? Guys, I will take attendance of each and every individual. Those who are able to attend complete 5 days, those who are able to attend complete 5 days, I can definitely help you out with their jobs to land their dream job in the IT field. Okay, so I can definitely help you out. Either it could be in any way, guys. I don't want to disclose right now. Okay, so I'll definitely help you out. Either it could be how you need to do and all those things. Is that clear, guys? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Am I making myself clear?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Yeah. So without wasting any further time, let me go to Kahoot quiz. Don't post your answers in the chats and all those things. Just use your mobile to answers. I hope you got how the quiz was like that, right? Is that clear, guys? Where you'll get questions on my screen and you have to. There are 4 colors. For 4 options, there are 4 colors, and you have to select for whichever option you feel right. I mean correct. You have to press the same color option on your mobile. Okay. For that, what you have to do is. Okay. Let me. See guys. Okay. Yeah guys, just type in Google Chrome or Google www.kahoot.it. Guys, just search in the Google or Chrome www.kahoot.it and use this pin. Then you can enter your name and you can log. Go to this particular www.kahoot.it use this particular pin and you can join. Guys, make it quickly. I'm gonna give only 2 minutes for this because we are already run up the time. Guys, make it fast. I'm starting now. Yeah, guys, I'm about to start. Yeah, no problem, Navina. Guys, shall I start?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So try to read the question carefully. You have 30 seconds or 20 seconds or 30 seconds for each question. Try to read the question carefully and give the options from your mobile. Right? Let me start. I got yeah. Okay, fine. The first question is a computer program is the options are, the first option is set of instruction, and the second option is used to do task. The third option is both A and B, and the fourth option is none. Only 11 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, yeah. 24 people was given both A and B. 26 people was given only. Okay. Yeah, fine. 2 people, only 2, 3, 5 people was given wrong answers. Hey, Nanna, who is that? Hey, dirty fellows, guys. Okay, so see, guys, a computer program is to do. It is a set of instructions, and it can use to do a task on the computer. Okay, so that is the one. Supriya on the top. Examples of primary memory. The first option is HDD, SSD, RAM, and ROM. Perfect. The RAM is example for primary memory. Next question. Vanilla on top, Sunil second, Supriya third. Which among these not a programming language?
Sir, options is not there.
Hey, you'll get. Options are giving by the users. You
No, sir. In mobile, there is no options at all.
Ayo. Guys, check your internet connection, guys. If your internet connection was slow, it can't able to give options. Okay, see, there are 53 responses.
Sir, use.
Join again then. Use www.kahoot.id and the pin was 4596057.
Sir, you can reveal the option, sir.
Okay. There was no options in mobile. Is that like you can't see Python, C, Windows, or you're asking that one or else?
Options, sir.
No,
Options.
you will get only colors.
Yes, sir. Colors. Which one is the correct answer? How can we guess that?
Yeah, you have to look at my screen. See, now on the red color it was Python and blue color it was C, on yellow color Windows, and the green color is C++. In your mobile,
Yes, sir.
you'll get 4 colors.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Okay, I can.
Yeah, in your mobile you will get 4 colors. You have to select which color is a correct one.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. So perfect, guys. Vanilla on top. Python is only object-oriented programming language. True or false, guys? Yeah, 7 people was given true. I told you, right? Python is both object-oriented and as well as procedure-oriented. But here the statement is Python is only object-oriented programming language, which is false. Perfect. Give me a second, guys. Okay. Fine. Can you able to see the screen, guys? Everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
fine. Next question. Again, vanilla on top. Give examples of application software. Give an example of application software. Application software. Guys, don't get confused with system software. System softwares and application softwares are completely different. I forgot to mention this application softwares. Yeah, mixed answers. Windows is system software. It is not application software. See, guys, you say apps for mobile. Apps are nothing but application softwares. Okay, so Linux, no. So these Windows, Linux, and Unix, these all are system softwares. These are operating system. And Amazon.com is the only application software, right? So which we have Amazon application, or we can directly use this Amazon.com from the internet. Okay, next question. Oops, Raviteja on top. Converting high-level language to machine-level language is called. Converting high-level language to machine-level language is called. Converting high-level language to machine-level language. Yeah, it is called as compilation. Some people has given translation. All of the above. 13. Hey guys. Conversion. Super nice. Bhargavi on top. So the 7th question, which of these following is correct extension of Python file? Forgot to mention. Okay, guys, I'm gonna reveal the answer for it. It is Python extension is .py. I forgot to mention. But, okay, perfect. Mostly correct answer. And I'm sorry for this particular question because I have not mentioned in the due to that glitch we had in the initial time. I was unable to complete all the things in a measurable time. Okay, fine. Again, Bhargavi on top. And the last question of today's quiz is, who developed Python programming language? Vic van Rossum, Rasmus Ledov, Guido van Rossum, Nine Storm. I think many can able to give the answer for this. Excellent. So Guido van Rossum is a person who has developed programming language. And I don't know why these people are giving Vic van Rossum and did I mention, guys, throughout my lecture, did I discuss about Rasmus Ledov? I don't know who is that person even. What, guys? Yeah, on the third place, we have Taco. I hope it was correct. Vanilla on second. I hope it Bhargavi. Exactly. So congratulations, guys. And the runner-ups were Shivaram and forgot. So that's all for today's class, guys. Okay, so just be patient toward the last and try to attend regularly, right? So do not miss any single day. And tomorrow I'll also cover some other advanced topics of Python. Then we'll get into actual coding concepts. Okay, so I hope you all have enjoyed today's session. We'll guys, tomorrow I'll check again if the strength was like this, like less than 100. I will take only Zoom or else Google Meet, right? So tomorrow I'll make again 2 more links like that, 2 more sessions like this, Zoom and as well as Google Meet. But if tomorrow strength is also less than 100, from day after tomorrow I'll take only Zoom class. Okay, so and also yeah, it is up to you guys. I'm not forcing you at all. So that's all, guys, and thank you all for your wonderful patience. And I'm sorry for the time, the extended time we had for the class and all those things. And yeah, so that's all, guys. Take care. Bye bye, and let's meet
Thank you,
tomorrow.
sir.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, guys.
Thank
Take care. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.